Good afternoon. I took way too long this morning procrastinating, trying to figure out how to build stuff. So I haven't built anything yet, but I'd like to get at least the frame structure for my couch done today so that I can go to Lowe's and pick up my thinner wood that I'm going to use for the slats on it, because my goal is to make a sliding couch. So my plan in this area is to create possibly a frame, and then we'll see. I think it's pointless to divide it into two, so I think I'm just going to do one full slat out slide just to be able to make it a bit longer. We'll see what I wind up doing. Alright. Alright, first thing I want to do is clear out this space. I've got a couple things over here. And then once I start going, what I'm thinking is that this guy is going to sit pretty much right here, because at some point I'm going to have an armrest right here. It's going to be yay tall. So I'm thinking that if I line this guy up, because that's going to be the seat part, that's where my frame will be. I think I just realized something. I want this seat 19 inches. I'm betting it's 21. You're at 19. I should have taken it down an inch. Because if I take, the idea is to take one of these guys and have a support across, which makes the seat really high. Dang it. The other option is just to put it out in front. Makes it a little less. Well, let's figure out my original plan, and I'll go from there. Alright, slight change of plan. As I was doing it, I realized that I made it too high, so when I sit on it, it's not where I want it to be. But the way around that of leaving it is just not doing the slide out slat system that I was going to do, which is perfectly okay. I really just wanted it as a second bed, but really this isn't long enough to be a second bed. If anything, I could have somebody short sleep on it. The only other thing is, like, I'm gonna have a bunch of floor area, so I could always have like my sleeping pad for backpacking and everything. That would fit in the space perfect, so I'm not too concerned about it. So instead, I'm gonna take these guys and we're gonna put it right there. We've got this small guy, just to create a little bit of sizing. And then I'm gonna take that board over there and we're just gonna place it on top, and that's gonna create my bench. Just kind of the easy way out of the mistake of all of 2 inches made for me. So I guess get to the rest of this. Alright, so I've got my little faceplate on it. I added some holes so that I can lift it up. Got all the space in there. Just sits right back down, and then you can just sit in it. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it supports me. You can, nice, comfortable bench. The one thing that I do have to figure out is this section right here. I think I have to figure out somehow a way to completely cap that off so that I don't get a bunch of dog fur in there. But other than that, yeah, that is that. I still have to add on that end railing that'll probably come up to here, and that'll be kind of that side plate for that, and that'll completely close off the box. And then I think I'm gonna start working on this for the rest of the day. I've got a couple of hours till the sun completely goes down, so we'll do that. And I think tomorrow we're gonna clean up a bunch of this stuff and possibly start doing the bed. Hopefully the bed goes as well as the couch went, and hopefully I don't mess it up by like 2 inches. But even if I do, I don't think that's too big of a deal, because I'll do the same thing, just basically adapt. Alright? Am I a 5-year-old? Yes, but hear me out. I have a blue light. You know what the blue light means? Lights. And that's on its own system. Before I start today's video, I just wanted to mention that I am not a professional in any way. I do not know too much about electrical, and I've done my own research to figure out what's going to work for me, my system, and the things that I've wired and purchased. With that said, if you're making your own system, make sure you research your own stuff and call when you need help for people and assistance. I purely decided that I wanted to make videos so that I could basically look back on it later and have a memory of building it, but also like today is one of those reasons. I very much want to be able to look back and see, or show somebody if possible, if something goes wrong with the system, so that I can trace back and say, okay, this is what I ended up doing, or jog my memory. It's purely a making sure that I know what I've done and that I'm not going to forget, or that I'll be able to actually see what I did versus, and possibly I should say, correct the future problem if one happens to occur. And that is purely why today's video exists and why I want it to exist. Not for somebody to copy or anything like that, because please don't. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just hoping that this just doesn't catch on fire and that I've researched everything as much as possible and that I'm gonna trust that I know what I'm doing. With that said, let's go ahead and start the video. Hey y'all, couple updates. I got my bed in. Basically, I've got the nice structure and everything. It doesn't go all the way back because I am putting a motorcycle in here, one that I do not own yet, but will eventually. So everything's kind of pushed forward, and that was the plan all along. So it's in, but it's got a lot of space. Other than that, I started this yesterday. It looks like a bit of a mess right now, but I'm slowly working on it. Right now, I do have my charge controller up, and the plug is in for the ones that connect to the battery, not the ones that connect to the solar panels yet, because you're not supposed to do that, I've heard. And then yesterday, I did this. Alright, because I'm a 5-year-old and this makes me super excited, this is my current mess that I have going on. My solar panels are not attached yet, so that's not attached. The only thing that I have going at the moment is this battery is attached to my bus bar, is attached to my 12-volt system, and I have one fuse in, because that's the only thing that I actually have stuff connected for. Now, why that makes me excited is because I've got this little light, which turns on that, and it's a dimming system. That makes me so excited. Oh my god, I'm a 5-year-old. So I got some of my 12-volt run. Basically all the wires are in here, they're all plugged in. I just have only one fuse, and that's gonna be this one right here. That controls my front two lights, which are the ones that I was controlling on the switch. That was just connected to the battery, nothing else was connected. I am going to work today to hopefully get all the batteries connected to the solar system and at least have that system ran. I am not going to be connecting this guy yet, just because I'm still figuring out the breaker box for that situation. So, with that said, I think I'm going to start by getting my batteries all together. Yeah. If I did this right, I should have, I've got everything connected, it's all in parallel, and it's connected to my 12-volt system. Let's see, I've got 2 lights, so that's power and everything there. And I've already got this set to the lithium. Alright, so I've got it set to lithium. It's not taking in any solar right now, but it's got the batteries and it's got the light and it's connected to the light and it's got the 12 volt. So if I did everything right, this should be on because this is the only thing that I have a fuse for, and it is. And that's that right there. I love when things go right. Alright, now to connect the solar panels to the charge controller, and maybe we can actually take in some solar. Alright, if I ordered everything correctly, which I think I did, I should be able to put these two in series, these two in series, and then connect them through parallel. If my brain got that right. So, first thing we're gonna do is plug in the inline fuse on the positive side. Alright. Now, we'll work on this panel first. So basically, the positive of one side needs to be connected to the negative of another. So, the positive and then these guys, I bought extenders. These are 5-foot extenders. All right. Is all connected. Can you slide under there? No, you can't. Alright. So I've got one half done. Do this guy, which is going to be literally the same thing. Is one of the positive goes to the negative. And then these guys are going over here. Then we've got Y branch connectors. So we've got this guy right here. Alright, so I left you up top because I plugged everything in wrong. I put the inline fuse in backwards, and then I put the wires that I originally put down, I originally thought were positive and negative. So when I plugged it in here, you know, it says positive and negative. So I did the wrong way, so this wasn't charging properly. Had a mini freak out, but that's okay, because look at this. We have power. So basically it's taking in from the sun, battery, and then we're using power, which is really this stuff right here, that right there. I can now do that and have power there. And of course, we all know this one because I've shown it like 1,000 times. But the button works for that one right there. So I already set up the app so I can already take a look at it. But I have solar. That's officially working. And lights and everything's running off of that, and I'm super excited because nothing's caught on fire. I did another thing, did I? that's all running off of solar. I officially got my solar system in and charging, and it's not just the batteries. It is charging from the batteries, but solar, charging batteries, and everything's all plugged up and working. I've got this light working, and then I've got the one for... I don't know how to start this video. I've been putting off making a YouTube video for a little while now. Not because I didn't want to make one, more because I've been busy. As you guys can see behind me, I have a lot more in than my last video that I put out. I am actually living in the bus, which you can tell when you look that direction, or when you look at my little car that I've got with all my stuff in it. The last place I left you, I was hooking up my... No. Let's start with this. I never introduced myself on this channel, and I feel like it might be time to do that. Somehow, people started following me, so I guess you guys should know who I am, if you don't already know who I am. My name is Skoolie. I'm 24 years old, and clearly living in a bus. I have my dog named Coda. She's 5, and she is currently loving bus life. So the last video I had for you guys, I put out that I had gotten my solar hooked up, which is very true. I did get my solar hooked up. I had a 12-volt system going, and when I first moved into the bus, that was all I had. Today is Monday. I moved into the bus Tuesday last week, so tomorrow will be a week living out of the bus, which is really weird to say. So I had 12 volt, so I could charge my phone. I could do anything that I really needed to do. And I ended up putting in my fridge. So I've got a Dometic fridge down there that is running off a 12 volt. My dad helped me. He came up and helped me get in a box around it. And I basically stole an idea from a Bus Life story where we put wheels on the bottom of the box, and we have drawer slides so that when it pulls out, it is resting on the wheels, so it takes some weight off. And then it pushes back in. It does take some weight off the back wheels, not the front wheels. And then it's latched in there underneath the bed, so I can have cold things and food and everything that you kind of need to survive. And then we ended up getting in the wall behind me, and I wired in everything within that area. And at that point, I didn't have my 120 set up, so none of that worked. And then we got in another wall. Since last Tuesday, I did get that shelf up, and I got a shelf up over there. And then I ended up finally hooking up my 120 volt system, which still scares me to this moment. I feel as though I may have done some stuff wrong. I did end up welding a wrench from a positive bus bar to a negative bus bar because, well, I'm stupid and turned the wrong way. So I got that undone, and my system works. As of right now, I can charge things off of 120. Today, not so much. Yesterday and today were very cloudy, so my batteries are kind of low at the moment. But hopefully I get a sunny day and it'll top off my batteries again. And I don't have my DC to DC charger on yet, so I can't even run the bus to help that. So hopefully that comes soon, but I don't know how to do that one yet either. I have to do a little bit of YouTube searching. Other than that, I don't have too much else that I did. I did get my bed cut. I did get a bed. I don't think I had that the last time I was on here. That's a simple bed from Target. It was $119, memory foam, cut it down to the size that I needed. It's a twin bed, so it'll only fit me and, well, Coda at the foot of the bed. I think that's it. Other than that, I've been living in here a week, and Coda is loving it. She currently is in her normal home, if you will, so the home that she had been living in. So she's got her crate, I call it her home. That is her... essentially her safety net to help her acclimate to the bus, and while I'm at work, it gives her a place to be locked up so she's not chewing on any of the loose wires that I have just hanging in places. At least when she's here, I can let her out and she can play outside and not mess up any wires or have anything happen to them. Other than that, she is very much enjoying it. She does get confused. If I tell her to go to her crate, she will go to one, and then the next time I tell her, she will go to another, and it's adorable. So hopefully next week I can get her just one crate and fix that door so that I can have her locked into her permanent built crate, and I can get rid of her portable crate that she's been calling home for the past couple years.
And then just over time, I'm going to continue to build this out and add to it so you guys get to see as I'm living in it how it starts to change and hopefully go for the better. I am starting to look at paint colors for the outside of the bus. If anybody's interested in that, you can check out my Instagram account. It's just tuuli.mix, tuuli.mix. That way you guys can see what colors I'm thinking of. Not sure if I'm going to go with them yet, but we'll see. Other than that, I think that's my update for the week. I don't even know how long I've been recording at this point, but I might just upload this and just kind of have it as an update. Yeah, officially living in the bus. Bye.